Welcome into the conversation today from your host, Ming, Ahmad, on the latest and greatest 500 seconds of resilience. Not meant to be the one-all be-all answer to your questions about how to develop, sustain, and maintain your resilience under any conditions, with given any problem. Really more just a reference, a guiding message that I feel is in my purview and my purpose to share with you, that whatever comes to me, again, I don't create it. I'm not the author of it. I'm just the conduit to produce what I understand of me, my message, my purpose, whether in the book, whether in writings, whether in this audio podcast, or just in me being me. Not for everyone's appetite or for casual consumption. However, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day today to consider these words of, I can't call them wisdom. I'm trying to get wisdom, but maybe in me sharing with you provides us with other avenues or access points to that thing called wisdom, on top of knowledge and understanding. Today's topic is called the last 60 redo, or the last 60 review. I had gotten some t-shirts done for me and my brother, having been in the general area of 6 decades of life. So it came to me to create this statement, the last 60. So it could mean a couple of different things. Could mean, looking back with a melancholic perspective and wistful thinking about what was, what could have been, what did happen, what didn't happen over the last 60, say, years. Or my main ambition and main intent was to say the last 60 going forward. But again, doing simple math, meaning, okay, this guy Ming thinks he's going to live to be 120, even if that was a novel or noble idea. Do you want to be that old and be what we presume to be kind of decrepit, being pushed around in a cart or wheelchair, or unable to wipe yourself in the bathroom? I don't know. But I didn't mean to go into that level of detail. But call me a hopeless optimist. The last 60 could mean in those two aspects. Looking backwards at the last 60, or forward to the next 60. Neither one of those two, by the way, can we get to. I can't see the next 60, nor can I revisit the past 60. So I'm going to revisit that statement with a bit more definition. I inferred and probably provided that default suggestion to the last 60, or the last 60 years ahead of me. And yes, optimistically or maybe blindly confident, given my history of health issues, stroke, quadruple heart bypass surgery, diet, being straight up fat, 3 divorces, just as examples. But if I can put those actual experiences aside, let me take this a bit further and closer to now. Maybe you can't even get with a possible idea of a last 60 forward if you've already survived 3 decades, or 3 or more decades, as I have. No problem with that. But in the light of the only now, only this moment, only this day, that we can only ever receive to experience. All about presence, currency, and production. Putting a finer point on that thing about present and presence. So what if I suggest the last 60 to mean this? The last 60 months. The last 60 weeks. The last 60 days. the last 60 hours, the last 60 minutes? How about the last 60 seconds? All those ones that's mentioned going forward. How about applying those statements? But the last 60 months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, seconds, going forward, how about applying that to your presence, your currency, and your production right now? With those details, put a finer and final point on that, the last 60 statement. And maybe spend and pay your attention forward to what you need to do in this time called now. I sincerely hope so. Again, not trying to be funny or cute with that statement. Yeah, I put it on a t-shirt for me and my brother. Maybe 80% serious, 20% trying to be, make a joke out of it or take a lighter stance on that statement. But now in this podcast episode, I want to refine that a bit. I maybe put it in a context that might make sense to you for application. Remember, hopefully I'm putting out something that is worthwhile as far as knowledge, maybe worth your time to understand and consider, and then how to apply it in something called wisdom for yourself. So I really hope that it makes sense to you. And yeah, I do tend to want to definitely not stir up any drama, but stir up some new interest on just words and just one voice out here in this crazy wilderness. But hopefully something that makes the day more digestible, more enjoyable, more understandable, and maybe a little glimpse into your development and self-discovery of your own wisdom. So that last 60, again, not trying to, I do want to emphasize that focus on dying in every moment you have to live, meaning give all you have to this moment. Don't wait to put it off until you feel like doing it. Put your effort into it right now. All you have right now, all of you, into now. I sincerely hope that statement about the last 60 has some relevance and credence and application in your life. I ask you to enjoy your time and spend it wisely, starting with the last 60 of this episode. As always, thank you for joining me. Remember, stay present, stay current, stay productive, and it's always 820.